We're in Madera, California. I live up the hill an hour away in Oakhurst, California, just outside the south entrance to Yosemite National Park. I'm still there. I don't have a bed and breakfast anymore, and I'm retired here in a couple of weeks. I hope God is blessing all of you and yours. I just found out 2 weeks ago that for the very first time, I'm going to be a grandma to a baby. All of my grandchildren came to me half grown, and I love them just like they were my own, but it's kind of exciting to know I'm going to get to hold a baby. My youngest son, John, is having a baby the first part of August. So that's pretty special. And I live about 300 yards from him. My oldest son, Melvin, I live about 400 yards from him. We all live on 18 acres together, and that's a real blessing. I love being retired. God has been good to me. I lost my dad in 2011. I lost my mom last January, 2015. And so I'm an orphan now, but I was blessed. They both lived to be 94 years old. My sister Judy lives in Oakhurst where I do, and I get to see her regularly. She and I co-host a Bible study every Sabbath afternoon. She has had cancer. She's been in chemo for, it'll be 2 years in June, and she has at least until December before those treatments will be over, but she's doing well. And my grandson goes into the Navy in a couple of weeks on April 6th. He's going into the Corps. He wants to work in the medical field. And that's an experience. I've never had family other than my cousin who were in the Navy. So life keeps happening. It's good. We walk in miracles every day. It's so easy to just think it's luck. But I'm a terrible Facebooker because I get so frustrated with my computer. The older I get, the more challenges I have in making it work. When it works right, it's a joy. When it doesn't, it's the greatest source of stress, which I don't do very well with anymore. So I do see some of you from time to time on Facebook, and Gabe is great about keeping me in touch with people that were classmates as he talks and visits with you and spends time with some of you. I always enjoy that. I love hearing about you all. And I just pray that God is blessing you, and He's going to come soon and take us home, just like He promised. That's going to be a wonderful reunion. I just hope to see all of you there. God bless you, and I hope that you are really enjoying your fellowship together at the reunion. 55 years, how did it happen? It goes by in a blink. See you next time.
Well, hi. Sorry I can't be with everybody. Hope you all are having a great time at the reunion. Wish I could be there. Wish I could, I wish I could. But I am having problems with my legs from this spinal cord injury, and or else I would be there. What am I doing? I'm working on a lot of stained glass, and I have I put things on Facebooks occasionally so you can see them, and I love doing that. And I'm active at church. I'm the organist, and I do all the flower arrangements. I help with the primary department. Church is about 5 minutes from my house, so it makes it easy. I have 3 grandchildren. I have my two are my son, Sean, has two children. He lives down in Torrance, and my daughter lives up in Washington, and I have grandkitties. She has no children, so I have two furry babies with her. And I have my other son is through my husband. He's 16, so I have three grandchildren, all awesome kids. And my brother, my sister both passed away. I don't have any family left other than my son and my daughter. I cannot believe that we are all at this young age that we're at. It just does not seem possible. My mind tells me I'm still 29 and holding, but my body says no, no, no. And that's really hard. And I know you guys are all going through similar whatever. I had so much fun at our 50th. Didn't get to visit with a lot of people though. And I really wish we were in better touch, because you all are just, I hear about you through the grapevine. And we have a new little cat that we just got. It was a feral cat. They asked me if I wanted a lap cat, and I said yes. And then when they brought it over, it was a feral cat. He'd never been in anybody's lap. So we just had him declawed because he's never going to go outside, and he's about 1.5 years old. So he's a teenager, and I don't want my furniture clawed up. So that's what I'm doing right now, is trying to, he's under the bed right now because he's really ticked. Just got him home today from the vet. I wish I could see you guys. I just, I talked to Linda on Facebook, and it's so awesome to be in touch. I wish more of us would stay in, I guess I'm living in, I've never grown up, because Academy, those were the best times that I can remember, more so than even college. I was a mess up, got in trouble all the time, but I really miss every one of you. We had some really good times. And I can't think of anything else that I need to, they say I'm not good at just rambling. I hope you guys are, I wish I could be there to see this new bus that is being unveiled. I hope that it'll be put on the video so I can see it. The campus is so gorgeous now, it doesn't even look like the same school that I went to school at. And I was in awe when I was there at the 50th reunion. Wish I could go back about 45 years and do it all over again. So, hindsight is wonderful. Anyway, I hope you all are having fun and swapping lies with each other. I wish I could be there to see this new bus that is being unveiled. I hope that it'll be put on the video so I can see it. The campus is so gorgeous now, it doesn't even look like the same school that I went to school at. And I was in awe when I was there at the 50th reunion. Wish I could go back about 45 years and do it all over again. So, hindsight is wonderful. Anyway, I hope you all are having fun and swapping lies with each other. But I wish you guys would stay in touch once in a while. I know you're all busy and you all have lives, but it's really fun going through the annual now and then and remembering stuff that we got into, and we did. Right now, I'm feeling really well. Right now, I'm presently on chemo, but it's stage 1, so I am a survivor and I am doing awesome. I'm doing just great. And other than this spinal cord, I've got some new medication that the doctor has given me that in the form of brownies that it works wonders. And all I can say is, I guess, I know we're living in the last days. Right now at church, we're studying Revelation, and never understood the book of Revelation, but it's an awesome study we're doing, and I realize that we are living in the very last minutes of this earth, and I am looking forward to a reunion with all of us, all of you in heaven. That'll be awesome. That'll be so awesome. And if you can't find me, I'm the one that's going to be jumping around like a pogo stick because I'll have legs at work. So, looking forward to that.
I'm Dick Clark. I'm sorry I can't be with you, but a third back surgery keeps me here. Life is very good. In the practice of law almost 18 years ago, and came to the Carmichael Seventh-day Adventist Church for a few months. Business problems, and the pastor who had me come in, who was my best friend, wound up leaving after 6 months, and I'm just starting my 12th year as the administrator with no apparent end in sight. Carol and I are very blessed. We have 3 children. Our oldest son, Rick, we lost 5 years ago, but we have his wife and 2 grandchildren. And we have a second son, Brendan, and a daughter, Jennifer. And the 3 of them have given us 11 grandchildren. And it's a little bit unique because our oldest grandson graduated from college 2 years ago. And our youngest grandson is just 18 months old. So we have quite a spread, and it's a family that we just enjoy thoroughly. Last year, Carol and I celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary. And I was between back operations, and I was functioning fairly well, so we had a terrific 3-week vacation to Russia and the Baltic states. And then the year before, we visited Israel. So travel has been a big part of our sort of semi-retirement. Carol is the HR director for the IT division of Adventist Health. We're both in our early 70s. We're both still working full-time, spend our time working, enjoying our family, and traveling as health permits. I'm sorry that we can't be with you, but those of you who will be there, I know you'll have a great weekend. About 4 years ago, we happened to be in Phoenix for a wedding of a family member, and we drove out to Thunderbird Academy to take a look at what it was, or what it is. And we were surprised at the new campus, and I have to admit that I tried to recognize some of the sites from the late 1950s, and I really couldn't. But it was fun going there, and I know you'll have a great weekend. We wish you God's richest blessings, and have a great time.
Like I told Alice, if I was there, we'd fly down there, but it takes too long to fly from here to there. My caboose gets a little tired, and so I can't fly so frequently.
So tell us what you're doing.
Pardon?
Tell us what you're doing.
Well, when I come over here, I started drilling wells for the people. And then as I was out drilling wells, I seen that if we were going to save the children in these churches, we were going to have to start Christian education. So we started a school. It was the first mission school in Mozambique. It had been closed since '76 when the Civil War broke out. And so we repaired it, and we've had school going for 3 years, and we have a little over 400 students. We started out just going to the 7th grade. None of the students were ready to go into the 8th grade, but now last year we started the 8th grade and have a 9th grade this year, and with about I think about 30 boarding students. Most of them are students just from the area, which is way out in the bush, and it's really making a difference with the families and the children. My real dream is I never wanted to start the school there because I knew there'd be quite a lot of expense in the infrastructure. We were drilling wells at the one-day churches that Maranatha was building, and I still would like to see it done is bring student missionaries in and put them out in these churches to teach, because these children will never be able to afford to come, and there wouldn't be room for them anyway, and to go to school. But that would be helping the children, and then it'd help to strengthen the church. And along with the school, we have we call it church training. It's discipling. The people here never had any follow-up. You can imagine a person being converted by somebody that knew very little, and the pastors here have 30, 40 churches, and they're not educated, that they just have not been able to grow spiritually at all. It's just like starting a new mission. And so we're trying to train the church leaders, teach them basic gospel, and if they learn to love Jesus, then they can be a good leader. But that's the first place we got to start, and it's making an impact. It's not easy to get workers over here, and we do use locals, but we bring in also from Brazil and areas in South America and Portugal, if we can get them to bring in a different mindset in the school. But it's been very interesting. Not being an educator myself and not even liking education is quite a change for me. But I can see where it was a big necessity. I had had men working for me from Zimbabwe, and they have Christian education over there, and they had a good foundation. And the people here in Mozambique have never had Christian education, so there's no foundation. But that gives you a little idea of what I do. We're building infrastructure for faculty housing. Maranatha give us 15 one-day school buildings. We've got 10 of them constructed. We're ready to start the last 5, put them up. We're also starting a farm and demonstration farm, and also, of course, to support the school, but to help teach better farming methods. And it keeps me busy, but I'm having fun.
Aren't you supposed to be retired now?
I'm just tired.
This is what retirement looks like?
Retirement was never in my vocabulary. I just never planned for it. When I got done working, I just told the Lord that I would donate my talents to Him. He gave them to me, so I'm giving them back to Him. And that's what I've been doing the last 8 years over here. And we drilled over 700 wells for the people and put hand pumps in for them while I was drilling wells. So it's been real. I've really enjoyed myself over here.
How often do you come back to here?
Well, it's been quite often. 3 or 4 months. I'll probably stay a little longer this time. But
He comes back.
yeah, if
every 6 months usually.
Alice could come over here, it would be a lot less.
Can't imagine why.
What's the weather like? Is it really hot and muggy, or is it cold like here?
It's been very hot. It's summer. It's going into winter now. But this year's been hot and dry.
Is it hot like it was at Thunderbird?
Only we got humidity here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in the morning it starts out about 98%, and as soon as that sun comes up, it gets hot, and then it dries out. But it's very hot. Yeah, this year has been the hottest since I've been here, and dries. Last year we had a tremendous flood, and this year it's dry. But we've had enough rain in this province to produce most of the crops. So the people aren't starving too badly in this province.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, when it's 95 here, they say it feels like 106, 110. I mean, I'm pretty wet most of the day.
okay. So give us a message for the guys, and we'll close it off.
Greetings from beautiful Oregon. Wish I could be in sunny Arizona with you all. And that's about all I have to say. Okay, I spent about 3 years in Africa with Gary, maybe 3.5. It was very interesting, and I'm glad I had that opportunity. I'm really happy. He comes home occasionally. He's been home a lot more this last year because of my health, but at least he's happy and he's doing what he wants. Comfortable with my family around, so everything's good. Oh yeah, we Skype 2 or 3 times a day usually, which is good. It's, you can't really hug a computer, but at least we keep in touch, and thanks to the modern technology, it's possible to keep informed.
So what has happened in the last 5 years?
5 years. Well,
Since you were back at Thunderbird?
since I was at Thunderbird, I was still living over in Africa with Gary at the time of our last reunion. And then I moved back here, and because of my health, I couldn't return to Africa, so I go to Curves to exercise, and I have a yard that I like to be out and enjoy. I don't do a whole lot of the work, but I like to claim I do some. And I travel to Detroit, Michigan to visit my daughter and her 5 children there once in a while. Mostly, not much has happened. We had our 50th anniversary in 2013. And other than that, it's just enjoy life every day, every minute. Every day above ground is a great day.
What are your most fond memories of Thunderbird?
My fond memories of Thunderbird, the swimming pool. I loved the swimming pool. I loved always being warm enough. I, I enjoyed my friends there, and I really enjoyed Arizona. I think it's always being warm enough. Wherever I am, if I'm warm enough, I'm happy.
What would you like to tell all the people there?
Well, I would like to say have a good time at the reunion and enjoy every day and enjoy your family every day you have with them.
Skype?
Oh yeah, we Skype 2 or 3 times a day usually, which is good. It's, you know, you can't really hug a computer, but
Sure.
at least we keep in touch, and thanks to the modern technology, it's possible to keep informed. Since I was at Thunderbird, I was still living over in Africa with Gary at the time of our last reunion. And then I moved back here, and because of my health, I couldn't return to Africa, so I go to Curves to exercise, and I have a yard that I like to be out and enjoy. I don't do a whole lot of the work, but I like to claim I do some. And I travel to Detroit, Michigan to visit my daughter and her 5 children there once in a while. Mostly, not much has happened. We had our 50th anniversary in 2013. And other than that, it's just enjoy life every day, every minute. Every day above ground is a great day.
What are your most fond memories of Thunderbird?
My fond memories of Thunderbird, the swimming pool. I loved the swimming pool. I loved always being warm enough. I enjoyed my friends there, and I really enjoyed Arizona. I think it's always being warm enough. Wherever I am, if I'm warm enough, I'm happy.
What would you like to tell all the people there?
Well, I would like to say have a good time at the reunion and enjoy every day and enjoy your family every day you have with them.
Actually, I'm due to be taken into the VA to have cataracts done. I'm right on the edge of where I can still drive, but I don't drive at night anymore because everything is just starry. So Heather does the driving at night.
Anytime.
Okay, well, there's not much to tell. I spent 13 years in Arizona before coming back to Oregon. During that 13-year period, I attended, I think, at least 12, if not all 13 reunions, because I could walk from my house on the second row of faculty housing there at the campus to the center campus. It was a luxury most of the time. I think I stood outside the gym and chatted with people while Sabbath school was going on more than I did anything else. It was rewarding to see people that I had known 50 years hence and get acquainted with younger people who in some cases are there teaching because relatives might have gone to school in our time. And there seems to be this long DNA chain that flows through Thunderbird from family to extended family to acquaintances to their extended family. I am happier, I think, now that I am back in Oregon. I spent 23 years here before I moved down to Arizona. We went down there to accommodate extended family. And our most recent daughter, my younger daughter, now 10, was born over at Thunderbird Legacy. And we didn't really understand until she was about 6 that she is a case of Asperger's syndrome. And then the situation in Arizona put us in a critical position in that care for autism spectrum children is simply not available in Arizona unless you're willing to wait on a 5-year waiting list. And so we decided it was time to come home. And we've been fortunate in that we've gotten her into the project in Portland. And she's an amazing child. Her academics in grade school have basically been kind of like, if you can remember what it was like having Darlis in class with you when anything less than an A was a cause for panic. So this kid gets A pluses and still has challenges on the playground in her social development and so forth. This got very interesting for me about a year ago after going through the testing that she went through at Providence Children's Center. And I began idly answering many of the interview questions that she was answering because we were there in the doctor's office with her. And I realized that finally I came to the realization that I am very likely as much of an Asperger's case as she is. So then I started looking back in my childhood and my time at Thunderbird and all these other kinds of things, and I'm reasonably convinced that I am somewhere on the autism spectrum myself. Now, where she reads and is obsessed with animals, as you might expect, music is where my focal point has been for many years. And the things that I do with audio and acoustics and all those other kinds of things are things that relate closely enough to it that I can stay interested and be, concentrated on it. To the folks who show up this year, I'm glad you're getting to go. I hope to be around for the 60th, and I hope everybody has a wonderful time.
Hi, this is Pat, and we live in Friday Harbor on San Juan Island. Gabe thinks we're quite remote, and we are. You can only get here by water or by air. There's no roads, no bridges, but it's a wonderful place to live. The life here is very different than it is in America. That's what we say every time we go to the mainland. We're going to America. We live on the northwest tip of this island. So if you go any further north or any further west, you will no longer be in the United States. We have lived here since we retired in 2000, so that's 16 years. Have no intentions of ever leaving this island because we love it so much. Every time we go to the mainland, we think people are trying to kill us because everybody's in such a big hurry. And island time is quite slow by comparison. This is my husband, Wayne, and he is also retired, but he flunked out of Retirement 101. So he now works part-time for a company called Aeronautical Services here on the island. And they are the contract UPS company. So he's a UPS driver, part-time for 4 to 5 hours a day. And he loves it because he gets to play with dogs and do all kinds of fun things. I am on my 4th day home from the hospital. I had a left hip re-implant. Last December, I developed an infection in my left hip, which had been replaced 10 years ago. I developed a lump, went to the doctor, and was immediately in surgery, where they totally removed my left hip. So from December the 12th until March the 11th, I went with only one hip, which is also an artificial hip. I've had both of them replaced, and one knee. But I just got a new left hip and I'm walking, and it's wonderful to be back on my feet. Let me tell you, it's not fun living without a hip, believe me. Over the years, I've lived in Denver for 10 years. Then I moved to Seattle in '77, and I lived in Seattle until we moved to the island in 2000. I worked in the electronics industry as a director or vice president of materials and purchasing for about 35 to 40 years, and that's what I retired from. And Wayne, would you like to say anything since I've had my big mouth running all this time?
Not much. Nobody there knows me. Yeah.
We were very
Yeah.
shocked when Gabe said he was coming up here. And I told him, he said, well, I thought I'd pop in. I said, I don't think you'll pop into my house because it's not easy to get to. And he has learned that. So we're thrilled that Gabe's here. It's wonderful to see him. I wish you all a wonderful reunion. Wish I were there to join in with all of you and do hugs all around and remember the good old days. But I can't be there. The doctor has said, no, 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 not that soon after surgery. So I'm sending you all hugs.
Anytime.
Hi, my name is Ron Aloise. This is my wife, Sally. My dog, Gartha. I graduated from Thunderbird Academy, I think in 1961. I've lived here since I was born here in Santa Rosa, back home. Now, I'm suffering from many ailments, but I feel great. I've been a contractor for the last 26 years here. I worked for the state before that. I own a few ranches. I'm selling most of them, but now I have a nice big one up in Lake County. I have cows, and I do some haying. I did a lot of racing. I built race cars. We restore old cars. My wife can tell you about the ones I gave her. One's for her birthday. Some restored cars, 57 Chevys, a 57 delivery sedan, 60 Chevys. I have all kinds of them. 55 Chevy delivery sedan,
Pickup.
55 big window pickup. I got so many I can't remember them all. We've had a lot of fun together. We race many tracks. I hold many track records. It's just,
Used to do jeeping.
yeah, we did a lot of jeeping. It was a lot of fun. We had a cabin up in the Sierras for many years. It was great. We fished, we hunted, hunted with her folks
Grandparents.
and her grandparents in Modoc. It was just a great time. It was a great time. We got into collecting bottles, antiques. As you can see in this house here, we built a subdivision on our place down the road here, so the house we're living in here now is just one of the rentals I have. I have a big house up on the ranch, and I've seen it once, but since I'm in cancer treatment, I'm staying down here, and as soon as I get a little weller, I'm going to be up in the new ranch house. The wife's taking up painting. I'll take one of the paintings down and show her. She's a wonderful artist. What do you want to say now, babe?
Nothing.
Tell me about your children.
We have two daughters. Our oldest daughter is a registered nurse, and our youngest daughter, she worked with
Ron with the construction. They were into the racing also, and they didn't actual race, but they just enjoyed it. And they went to car shows, and we got 2 great grandkids.
Great grandkids?
Just grandkids.
Grandkids.
The oldest is our granddaughter, she's 21, and then our grandson's 16, and he can't wait to drive. And the granddaughter, she's studying to be like a paramedic. She's working with an ambulance company. And the grandson's still in school, so he's got a real good grade point average, and he's got a lot of awards, and he's into, isn't it basketball?
No, he's track now.
Track, I guess.
Track now this season. Yeah.
And that's about it.
So Ron, tell me how you've been able to overcome some of the things that you...
Oh, well, I don't know how I'm overcoming it. Just keeping a good attitude towards life, and wake up in the morning, try to keep a smile on my face, and look at my beautiful wife, and just continue on with life. You know, you got to keep going. You can't. If you give up, that's the end of it. You know, I got good doctors, and I think that's part of it, but. I got too much to live for. I've always wanted to be a rancher, and we got a wonderful ranch up there that we're going to keep in Lower Lake. It's a beautiful place. We got our own lake. You know, we got about 50 head of cow on that ranch. We're going to keep all that, and it's a beautiful place. And we got, like I said, a brand new home up there. So I just can't wait to get well enough to spend time up there and just make the trips down for the cancer treatments. And I'm looking forward. That's one of the reasons to stay alive and get well, is to spend some time up there.
Do you get on the internet at all?
No, you know, we don't have a computer. We don't have any of that stuff.
Not yet.
You know, we had all that stuff in my office in the construction line of work. My daughter took care of all that. I never got into it, never wanted to. I wouldn't even know how to turn a computer on. Or a fax machine. I'm one of those guys that did everything with a pencil.
So what do you want to tell these people that you haven't seen in 55 years?
Well, I'd like to know what they're up to. I'd like to know who survived. I would really like to know what George Hall's up to. You know, he was my roommate when I was in Thunderbird Academy. Haven't heard a word from him. I really enjoyed talking to Colleen Sparks, you know, but it'd be nice to know where everybody's at this time.
Hi, this is Lorraine. Gabe was nice enough to come by. I am unable to attend because I had major back surgery in August, and then I fractured my spine in December. And I still have to have neck surgery, so I'm a little incapacitated at the moment. I have plenty of things to do. As you can see, I have 2 babies, and I enjoy watching my DVDs and listening to my CDs. The doctor is adamant he does not want me to work out in the yard, which is very discouraging because my yard needs some attention very badly. I just want to say I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful time, and it is hard for me to carry on a conversation sometimes because I cannot remember the words that I want to. That my back surgery was 4 hours, and they tell me that it will take some time for that to get better, but it's very discouraging when you're trying to talk and can't. So I'm gonna make it short, and like I said, I want you all to have a wonderful time, and I wish I could be there, but it's just not possible. Both of my dogs are rescue dogs. One needed a home because the owner was leaving. The other one, the miniature dachshund that is in my lap, he came to me with a mouse so badly infected he was unable to eat the hard food they were feeding him. My granddaughter's boyfriend, he took Mikey because the lady that brought him said that her boyfriend was going to kill Mikey, so she got him out of there. And Mikey, I've had him several years, and he hates men. It's very difficult to get him to interact with any man other than barking at him. But a couple of times he has gotten used to men. Unfortunately, the man that he loved the most passed away in January, so we're trying to find some other people that have the patience and the knowledge to interact with a dachshund that's been abused. It's bad enough you get a dog that's been abused, but a dachshund, because of their naturally aggressive behavior, it takes about twice as long as it normally would. But they are very much company to me, and when I injured my spine and I had to lay flat on my back for 3 weeks, they were something that moved and loved me when I was down and out. So they're very precious to me. I wish you all the best.